Next, this, what's today?
The 12th.
12th. 2 days ago, I get an email from people that City Hall newspaper had published a 10,000-word article on relationships and money moving in and out between 6 city council members, Councilmember de Blasio and his public advocate race, and the Working Families Party. I didn't know anything about the article. I read all 10,000 words. A lot of people raised questions about what's going on. Because I'm an interested party, because I have no independent knowledge, Dominic, of what's going on, I'll let the regulatory and legal authorities look into it, like the Campaign Finance Board, and I'll let objective people who know more about it, like Isaac Dovere, who wrote the piece, explain what he thought was going on.
Well, in your opinion, what's the allegation here?
I don't want to repeat it because then I'm credentialing it. The whole issue is if a candidate says to, if a supporter gives a candidate money, thank you very much. If the candidate then says to the supporter, by the way, if you could spend some extra money, not to me, but in kind or in third-party ways that benefit me, I hope you do it. That's unlawful.
Okay, but
and I'm not
Facebook using Facebook to advertise events? I mean, that's
so that is always the issue, and I'm not alleging it happened in this case. By the way, my daughter, my friends, if they go on Facebook and say, "Hey, give to my friend Mark Green," I hope they do. But if you are an organization that's given money to a candidate, and then you are at the suggestion of the candidate, encouraged by the candidate, to raise monies and spend it theoretically independently of the candidate, but in cahoots with the candidate, that's a problem. I don't know that happened. The City Hall article can stand on its own, and I'll let people read it like I did.
Okay, moving on. What do you say to those critics? And I remember
they're
asking
wrong.
you they're wrong. I remember asking you this question when you were the public advocate, when you were taking on some tough, powerful interests. But I ask you the question now, what, 8 years later, whatever it is, 10 years later, those that make the argument that the public advocate's office is not necessary and that it's just another example of wasted taxpayer dollars when we already have enough people looking over government's eye to make sure that they're doing the right job.
I have a positive and a negative answer. The positive answer is I don't know a government office for 25 cents a taxpayer that produces bigger dividends for consumers and taxpayers. Our mob investigation.
Wait a minute. Has the office of Betsy Gotbaum, has she produced dividends?
Yes.
To justify that 25 cents to taxpayers that you just said?
Yes.
Do you really believe that, Mr. Green?
Yes. But let me answer your question without your hectoring. Betsy can explain herself. She's done unheralded and good work on education and no-bid contracts, for example. Let me talk about what I know best, which is what I did.
You really believe, as the first public advocate, you really believe that, Mr. Green?
It's more than belief. I can almost document it. You answer 12,000 complaints a year, which by definition the mayor isn't answering because the bureaucracy is ignoring average people. B, the mob was imposing a mob tax of $1.5 billion a year because of our initiative and Mayor Giuliani's work. That's largely gone. That's a lot more than $1.7 million budget. The women who came to me who were being discriminated against in divorce court, I exposed it. Chief Judge Judith Kaye adopted our proposals. The system has been changed. So women in divorce court who are unmoneyed spouses, often victimized by wealthier husbands, believe that we were completely on their side and helped them. There are 200 examples like that that I don't have time to go into. So second, that City Hall, the mayor's side and the speaker's side, cut everybody 4% because there's a crisis, but only the watchdog over them 40%, while they're giving their managers $150,000 to $200,000 salaries. By the way, I'm not running for the money, obviously. Public advocate, a citywide elected official gets $150,000. They have bureaucrats and staff that are getting salary increases, and they're asking questions about the worth of the office.
You may make a point there, but some people may say $150,000 for the public advocate is $150,000 too much.
Well, they didn't listen to my answer that answering complaints, exposing wrongdoing, A decade ago, our water bills were too high. The Department of Environmental Protection had made a mistake. We exposed it. Water bill rates came down. Now water bills are too high again. If the public advocate is doing his or her job, you keep the mayor on his toes, you improve city services. Dominic, because it's a great recession is the term that will stick. More than ever, you need an ombudsman in government, on government, helping seniors and the workers who can't get a fair shake.
Mr. Green, you were a NY1's guy, so you know a little something about television time. I'm out of time. I want to ask you this last question. Give us one new idea, quickly, that you, if you're elected, again, public advocate, that you will carry out.
I'd like to see health coordinators in low-income minority school districts because of kids' propensity, especially in these communities, toward diabetes, for example, and obesity. I'd like to nip it in the bud and help families and kids get through it. Next to no money, and help people with health counselors exactly where the problem is. Small idea, it's one of 100. Please go to markgreen.com for the other 99.
Okay, well, Mark Green, it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you, Dominic.